All right, Aubrey, what is it that you want to learn about today?
Constellations.
Constellations. Oh, you know that I love constellations, don't you? What's
Yeah.
what's my favorite constellation?
Orion.
That's right. So why don't we start with that? So you've seen this before, right? Right. This is my favorite constellation, Orion. Orion the Hunter. Right? So we've seen this in the sky, right?
Yep.
Yep. So Orion has a few features that are easy to pick out. So one of the easiest, of course, is his belt. These three stars here in his belt. And then this that hangs off of his belt is actually isn't just one star, it's a bunch of stars and gas called Orion's Nebula.
Oh.
Cool. Yeah. And then his two shoulders are named Bellatrix, like Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter. And the other one is named Beetlejuice, like Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice from the movie. And one of his feet, I think it's this one, we'll double check, is named Rigel.
Rigel. Okay.
Yeah, and there was a TV show that your daddy used to watch called Farscape, and in it there was a funny little alien. His name was Rigel. So let's look. There we go. Oh man, it's so little. Let's see if we can find a better picture.
That happened with my teacher once.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she got a little picture. There we go.
She tried to make it bigger, but it was with the Big Dipper.
See? So Rigel, when you're looking up, it's the foot on the right, and then the shoulder on the right is Bellatrix, and this one is Beetlejuice. So that is my favorite constellation. And during the winter, there's a thing called the Oranids meteor shower because there's a meteor shower, and it looks like they're coming out of the Orion constellation.
That's cool.
Yes. So what other constellations have you learned about?
My favorite is my favorite's Pegasus.
Pegasus. Okay. So do you know the story of Pegasus?
I think I heard it once.
Well, so the story of Pegasus is that he's a famous winged horse. And the king of the Greek gods was a guy named Zeus, and he had a whole flock of them.
Can I tell you something?
Tell me something.
I learned at class that Hunter actually battled Pegasus. He died.
Well, so there was a guy who hunted all of the other horses until Pegasus was the only one left. And he gave him to a guy named Perseus to ride. But this is the constellation Pegasus. And so that's his front feet and his head, and he has sort of a square. Now, I heard that one of your favorite constellations wasn't just Pegasus, you also liked
the Big Dipper.
The Big Dipper.
And the Little Dipper.
Yeah.
You know the Big Dipper's not really a constellation?
Yes, it is sort of part of a larger one. It's called the Bear.
Have you heard? I heard a story of it.
What's the story of that one?
Okay. Someone turned him into a bear to hide away from his wife.
Oh, okay.
That's what I heard.
So this star over here is important. So this star that's part of the Little Dipper that's called Polaris, do you know why that's important?
No.
Because do you know what another name for Polaris is?
No.
The North Star.
And I also heard that it's probably another story, but I think it was this one that it was exactly about the North Pole.
Okay. Well, it's sailors used to use it to find the north whenever they were sailing. They would use the stars of their gift as their guide. Now, so this is cool. I actually learned this a long time ago from your grandma. And so whenever you find the Big Dipper, if you will follow the handle, you can arc to Arcturus, which is this, and it's a very bright star. And then if you switch it to go straight, now they say spike to Spica. I heard it as speed to Spica. And it's this other bright star in Virgo right here. And whenever it's dark out and we want to go, we can try that out. We can arc to Arcturus and speed to Spica.
We should do it at the barn if it's not cloudy.
That is a very good stargazing tip, because if you go to some place where there's not very many lights, it's easier to the stars.
Like the barn.
Yes, and if you're in town where there's street lights or people who have their lights out in their house, sometimes it's harder to see the stars. So I also like this constellation because it's a big W. Have you heard of it before?
Yes.
What is it?
I saw it. Well, you're asking me the name, aren't you?
I am.
I don't know the name, but
It's
I saw it before, and I thought it was cool because W is the first letter in our last name. Wilson.
That is correct. So this big W in the sky is Cassiopeia. And her story is that she had a very beautiful daughter named Andromeda. And her story links up with Perseus. And they were all part of a famous movie that I'll show you one day called Clash of the Titans.
Maybe when I'm older.
Maybe when you're older, yes. So those are all very good constellations. And I like that you're learning about that stuff because I like constellations a lot. And we'll look at them in the sky. Okay? Thanks for asking me the question. Good job.